Good evening and welcome to another Corgis live stream. This one is a rip-roaring live stream because not only do we have the Reverend James Warren, he has become a reverend now, he will be given a sermon later on. We also have the fabulous Born to Win. Our backing vocalists are in the room because they have been here recording with us. Why have they been recording with us? Well, you may well ask that. And that is because of our upcoming Japanese release and later to be in the UK release. I've got to get this right. Cool hits, collaborations. No, it's not that way around. Cool hits, curiosities, and collaborations. Our new album, which is, as it would seem to be, it's a selection of the hits, but new versions of them, and we'll be going through what they are in a little bit. Collaborations, things like Always a Sunny Day, etc., etc. And curiosities, things that you may never have known even existed. And we're going to be telling you all about them today. But meanwhile, here's here's our new version of Don't Look Back and the new album cover coming up. So have a little deco at this.
Down on luck, I can hardly say I'm down on luck. I've monopolized your life too long. I know that certainly something's gone wrong. Times are tough, I can hardly say that times are tough, but all around us friends are so confused. When you have so much to give, nothing to lose. Don't look back, walk away, burn the past, live today. People change, who cares why? Don't grow old, never die. Celebration, being alive is
And there was our brand new version of Don't Look Back. It isn't quite finished yet because we had some great feedback on some of it, and then Nigel, our manager, went, "What have you done with that synth solo? That's horrible, that is." Well, we quite liked it, but he thought it was horrible. Anyway, we hit upon the idea of doing a violin solo, electric violin solo, a bit like Everybody's Got to Learn Sometime. So that seemed like an idea whose time has come. And if Richard Mainwaring happens to be listening to this or watching this, then sorry, I haven't asked you to do it yet, Rich, but I will. Get your electric violin out, get it tuned up. We're going to do it. While we're talking about things to do, subscribe. It's easy. This is how easy it is.
That was easy.
That's how easy it is. Yeah.
That was easy.
That was easy. Subscribe. YouTube, thank you so much, because when we first started doing these live streams, we had like just over 200 subscribers on YouTube, and now we've got 500. That's amazing, isn't it? That's amazing. We've got 500. So it works for me to ask you every week, to bully you and needle you into doing it. And be our friend on the Korgis.com, be our friend on Facebook, be our friend on Instagram, be our friend on Twitter. We haven't got
anything else you can find.
We haven't got TikTok yet. We haven't done TikTok. Everyone says we should do TikTok. What do you think, the viewers out there? Should we do TikTok, or is that just for the kids? There we are. I think it is time that we brought out our special guest and very special person, Mr. James Warren. Oh!
Hello!
Hello.
So, Mr. Warren, how are you today?
I'm fine.
Good,
Yes.
good. Hello, everyone out there, because there's a few people who are already kind of listening, isn't there? There's a few people who've come on. I saw Ingo's there, isn't he?
Oh, Ingo.
Paul G is there. Gary Tritchett's there. Elaine Gilmore is there. Oh! I wonder if that means that Paul Smith, our drummer, is also
I
there.
wonder. Are you there, Paul?
Next week we are going to be recording Paul Smith, because there's a couple of songs that we're going to play you today from the new album that Paul Smith hasn't played on yet. So some of the stuff that you're going to hear here is very much in the kind of demo stage. Some of them were only put together in the last couple of days. So this is really a scoop, isn't it?
It is. It's a scoop.
They're so lucky, aren't they? Do they know how lucky they
I
are?
should be so lucky. Lucky, lucky, lucky. I should be so lucky.
That, of course, is one of the songs that we'll
Yes,
be doing on the
yes.
new Corgis album. We'll be doing a few little Kylie Minogue covers.
Yeah, I think it's got potential, that one.
I think it does. It could go far, couldn't it?
Yeah.
Could go far. So, competition. We have got a competition, and we've got a prize, and I haven't even told you what the
You
prize is, and
haven't.
you'll go, "What are you doing that for?" We figured out that the prize should be a version of the new album in whatever state it's in about a week from now.
Wow.
And we'll burn off a CD, and this will be the only copy of it in the world, because after that it'll change and things will get added and all of that. But I reckon in about a week or a week and a half we'll have most of the vocals on it, so at
Yeah.
least you can hear what the songs are like.
Yeah. What a scoop.
What a scoop! It is a scoop.
Amazing. What is the question?
Well, should we ask him what the question is?
Shall I read
I'm
the
gonna stick it
question?
up on the screen. Here we are for the viewers. And what does that say, Mr. Warren?
Here's your quiz question. What was the first demo recorded by the Corgis? Shall I say it again?
Say it again.
What was the first demo recorded for this album?
No.
No,
The first demo
no.
by the Corgis.
I'll read it again.
Yeah.
What was the first demo ever recorded by the Corgis?
So there. That is it. What was the first demo recorded by the Corgis? Some people might know that. Some people might not know that. Some members of the band didn't even know that,
No.
did they? They went, "Why are we doing that?" Yeah, it's good. So there. So what have we been working on today?
Today we've been working on a couple of tracks. We've been working on This World's for Everyone.
We have.
But with a very special African choir singing on it. Yeah.
Yes. And they're called Matsiko,
Matsiko.
which sounds a bit like a car, but that's actually a Mitsubishi. This is a Matsiko.
And they sound fabulous.
They do sound fabulous.
They do.
Do you think we should play it to them?
Well, that's an
We
idea.
could play a tune,
It's an
couldn't we?
idea, isn't
Because
it?
we have it up here. Maybe we'll put up Sonar songs on here because I think this song is actually up. I'm going to stick it up on the screen.
Yes.
You should still be able to hear us for a minute anyway. I might turn it off in a minute so you can see what's there. But here we go, up on the screen. So we have been working on, hang on, I'll just make it so you can see it. There's some backing vocal blocks. We haven't put backing vocal blocks on this today, but we have been looking at all sorts of different instruments. There's a whole load of things already recorded in there. Last Tuesday we recorded Paul Smith on drums and you on bass, and I play guitar, and we've been gradually
right.
adding things since then. So should we let the boys and girls hear it? Let's let them hear it. There is no lead vocals on here, but James, you could sing along a little bit. I think this mic can pick you up. Yeah, I think it would. So get a bit closer to that.
I will.
And I will kind of try and balance it here live, and let God help us. Here we go.
We look above to the starry sky. We touch our hearts and be still. But deep inside, we are haunted men who talk of brotherhood as we kill. Freedom now, freedom now.
Big work for everyone. Big work for everyone.
Of suffering has an ancient face. It knows no borders, no ideals. We sacrifice simple men of peace on the fire of vengeance. Every word is there. Freedom now, freedom now. Freedom now, freedom now. It's one for everyone. It's one for
New outro.
Big work for everyone.
So there we are.
Yeah. They sound good, don't they, Matt Seco? Lovely stuff.
Yeah, they sound pretty good. Do you know what? That only took about 10 minutes. We were in a really, really hot room.
In Liberia.
In Liberia.
In
their
Liberia.
office. It was 31 degrees outside, and I reckon it was 38, 40 degrees inside
Oh,
there.
my God.
My mate Hegsy came in and he went, God, the heat in there is unbelievable. But that's often where they like to rehearse. It was the first place they rehearsed, and they kind of feel like it's kind of home. So there, yeah, we recorded that. They were really quick. They were
Fantastic.
good. Yes. So that's what we've been doing. Do you reckon we should invite our other special guests on,
Why not?
as they've been here and working so hard?
Yes.
Ladies and gentlemen, a huge round of applause for Born to Win, aka Ava, Jay, and Emmy. So all of a sudden it's become very crowded in here.
Yes.
It's very cozy.
It's very cozy. Very cozy, yeah. Yeah.
As
So-
warm as a rehearsal studio in Liberia. Huh? Not quite that hot,
quite
but
that
you
hot.
know.
cozy as that.
Hey, we'll get it. We'll get
I'll
there.
tell you what, the room we recorded in was not that much bigger than this.
Really?
There was about 30 people in there, and me with the recording stuff as well. So,
Well,
it was,
that'll teach you to try and replace us with Liberian school children, won't it? Huh? Think twice about that, won't you, Alistair?
Oh, but damn, they're so cheap. No, it was a great joy to do. While we were out there, we did a concert with them, and that's up on Livestream. If anyone kind of checks it out, I think there's some links on my site for it. But it's great fun to have them on this album as well. And I did some little other bits of recording with them, which may well end up on some future recordings too. Nice little ditty called "Going Back to Liberia."
Wow.
Yeah, so you'll hear that at some point. I think you have already heard a little bit of it. We did some of it on one of the other live streams, but it has changed since then because of what they did with it, and also because I did a little bit more research on Liberia.
Right.
So it's always good to know the facts, isn't it?
Or even know where it is on a map. That would be a good start.
Oh, well, Red Eddie thought it was Lithuania I was in, which is a cold country near Russia somewhere.
It is.
It is, yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, no, you weren't there.
In fact, Nigel Boyle, we almost went to Lithuania to pick up boxes for the box set, didn't we?
gosh.
We almost flew out there because it was cheaper than having them delivered.
Really?
It was cheaper
Yeah.
to fly out and get them yourself.
Yeah, luckily enough we found them in Great Britain afterwards, didn't we? Was it Great Britain?
I can't remember. Did they, or did they come from Spain?
crazy, isn't it?
I got an idea they
I think
came
they
from
came from Spain.
Oh,
Spain.
We didn't have to.
Spanish boxes.
Yeah.
Spanish boxes, but they're good ones. We like those boxes.
you did. You fell in love with them. These are the boxes for us.
So, what have we been doing today? I mean, you guys have had a bit of a day, haven't
Had
you?
a very busy day.
You've had a bit of a day.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes. So the girls, Ava and Emmy, thought that it would be great if us lads moved some antique furniture.
Well,
Which, moving furniture
it
is...
wasn't my idea, to be fair. I do have to protest.
I like moving furniture. It's easy. It's
You seem
pick
to have
up,
done
move,
quite a
and,
lot of it
that's great.
lately.
But antique furniture is a different thing because you've got to be gentle, and I'm not very gentle. So you know,
I thought you did very, very gentle.
I got shouted at a lot. I'm not going to lie to you.
Do
What's
you
that
know
corner?
what? That happens in my house as well. Quite often.
Shouted at.
Happens in mine as well.
Does it?
Nice, yeah.
And it happens in mine too.
Really? It doesn't, does it?
Gosh, I think that's probably the only normal thing about us, Jay.
That's probably the only normal thing about you.
There you go.
And then we came here and laid down some vocals. Now it's
Yeah.
for the
It's a Japanese release. Well, it's a Japanese
What
release
is
to
this
start.
Japanese album?
Tell me all about
Shall we
it now.
describe it to our dear friends
Shall we?
on the live stream?
Shall we? We were approached by a lovely Japanese person called Satoko, and he said, how do you fancy doing an album that sheds new light on some of the old songs and put some of your new stuff on it as well? And he was very forgiving about what the track list might be. He just went, well, I'm going to leave it up to you. But we kind of knew that Everybody's Got to Learn Sometime had to be on there. But of course, we've got a lovely new version of that with real strings on it and everything. And it's a bit different, different to the original version. So that's good. And we thought, If I Had You has to be on there, really.
Yeah.
So we've been busy doing a different version of that as well, which we'll play in a couple of minutes because we're going to put real strings on it. So now I've mocked up the real string. I've mocked them up, but they're not real as such. But it does sound big and it sounds really good. And we might even do a little live rendition of just that, just to show that we can. Just to show we can.
Yeah, you up for that? I originally thought it meant me learning Japanese. And I thought, I'm not good on languages, but I'll do my best. So it's good to know, really, that it's like that.
We don't have to sing in Japanese.
Yes,
Great
yes.
news.
Have you got far into the tutorial?
I did. I was about 6 hours on YouTube. YouTube's a wonderful place. You can learn anything. How to say in Japanese.
Yeah. Yeah. I know konnichiwa. That's about it.
Ooh, what does it mean?
Hello.
Oh, that's good.
I don't know. Goodbye. Yeah. So I can't leave any
But you
rooms
can just
in Japan.
you don't have to come all
I
the
have to
way.
stay
Can
inside.
any of you guys speak any other languages?
Konnichiwa.
A bit of French.
A bit of French.
A bit of French. Yeah.
What's the most important thing to learn for your first words in a new language?
Hello, I suppose.
Do you know what? I know a little bit of German.
Ooh.
Ich hätte gerne noch eine Rotwein, bitte.
Oh,
Do you know what that means?
I would like a glass of red wine.
It actually means I would like another glass of red wine,
you've
please.
already had one.
And apparently that was a very polite way of saying it in German. And the other thing that I learn in most languages is, and this is the German for this, ist mein Deutsch so schlecht? Which means, is my German so bad?
Yes.
And you can always tell where you are in Germany, because in West Germany they always go, yeah, schlecht. Ah, boah. You know, in East Germany they're much more polite and they go, nein, 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 nein. German good. German good. So yeah, I think it's important to learn a few things. You have to learn what beer and wine are in virtually every language, or certainly I know them in every country
Well,
I've
if
been
you do
to.
want wine and beer, it is a good idea.
Well, it's a good start. Good place to start, I think. Hello, where's the wine and beer?
And I've become very fluent in Liberian.
Oh, have you?
I've become really fluent in Liberian. So what that means is in Liberia, the recognized language is English,
Okay.
except when you hear them speak.
And then you don't recognise it
Because
as
they
English.
go, we love you. And you go, what? You go, we love you. But they just don't bother pronouncing any consonants of any sort. Do you like wine? Do you like wine?
Could be quite confusing, couldn't it?
So I was explaining to him that this is what, what are you having for tea? White rice. White rice. White rice, of course. So there we are. I'm fluent in Liberian now.
I'm very proud of you.
Yeah,
They still don't understand me.
No,
But,
no.
But it's good. But we have a good laugh when we're across there about our language differences. So one of the other things we've been working on today is lines.
Yes.
We've been working on lines, haven't we? Should we play them a little bit of lines? We can. Maybe if we play, I'm thinking if we play maybe... Oh, I tell you what, we're going to play it from almost the top because we want to hear the amazing theremin. I was talking about a plugin that I had years ago, and it was this theremin plugin. And I did an album for a guy called Boyd Clack, and he rang me up and he went, I bloody love the theremin, man. The theremin, I love it. And so I found that plugin.
Oh, okay.
A real theremin is like
How big is
a
it?
magnetic stick. It's quite, it's sort of, you set it on something, and when you put your hand close to it, it goes woo. So if you go woo, so it sounds really sci-fi.
Yeah.
And that's all of those sounds that go woo.
So
all
is
come
it
from the
electronic,
thing.
is it?
It's an electronic thing. It's like a magnet, and the closer you get to it,
cool.
it recognises proximity, and you play it as an instrument.
Eva, I want one.
No, you sound like Scooby-Doo.
They are amazing. They are amazing. Anyway, so I'm going to play a little bit of this because I found my old theremin plugin and we got it up and working again. And it was a bit like it's out of time and it's like it's going that and it's like the thing. But we eventually tamed it because it is one of those things you have to tame. And so it sounds a little bit like this. Spooky. You bring the clothes on the washing line, and you park on the yellow line.
John sings this. I don't know
You
the
rock your
words.
boat on the shipping line. You never know when to draw the line. Please tell me whose side are you? Side of the line are you? Whose So that's very nice. And then I think the only other bit I would go to is we put a little like wow 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 guitar in, which I really like, which comes after the end of this middle eight. Ready? Yeah.
Very nice.
So there we are. It sounds really clean, doesn't it? It sounds really,
it does.
nice. Sounds like we know what we're doing, Mr. Warren. Yeah.
Not your first rodeo, Mr. Warren, is it? Not your first rodeo.
It's my second.
So yeah, that's all been very nice.
The music is a bit loud.
Oh, compared to the voices. Okay, yeah, I'm not surprised. It wasn't. We were only miming anyway.
Yeah.
Okay, but bear in mind if we do another one, we'll turn it up, or we'll turn the music up.
Yeah.
Yeah. Cool. So we have been doing one more, haven't we?
There was more.
More?
Yeah. So this is what I was talking about, the If I Had You version with real strings on it, except there isn't real strings on it yet, but there will be real strings on it soon. So I'm just going to grab that up and we'll play you a little bit of that because we've been putting all the backing vocal blocks on it. And it sounds really big, actually. You haven't heard this, have you?
No,
But it sounds
I
really
can
big.
imagine it would be huge.
Yeah. Yeah. So the beginning of it starts the same. And then Mr. Warren and I were talking earlier and went, oh, what it's really missing at the beginning is that mandolin. That
Ah, yeah.
But I did say, well, if we got the strings to go
Oh, nice. Yeah.
tremolando strings, that would be a similar effect. And in fact, we tried it out with some fakey ones here.
Yeah.
And it sounds quite nice.
Ooh.
So
Wonderful.
have a little
But it will sound even better eventually with the real thing.
Nice.
Oh, my slide guitar isn't on yet.
I haven't done my singing yet either.
No, he hasn't done the singing
Day
yet.
I saw you walking.
But we might do a little live version of this, just to give you the idea. This is kind of what the strings are going to do on the chorus. Something like that.
Oh, nice, yeah.
Yeah, baby.
Little flourish.
I like it. I like it.
That's beautiful.
It's as pretty as a peach.
It is
Yeah,
as
oh,
pretty as a pig.
hey now.
So I think we haven't actually played the backing vocals yet, have we? This is the backing vocals we've been working on today. What do you reckon? Could we do a little live version of that?
Well,
You think we
I
could-
can
Shall I go get a
Epic.
guitar? Shall I get a guitar?
Yeah, grab one.
Keep them amused while I go get a guitar.
Gosh.
Oh, how are we going to amuse people?
Gosh.
Gosh. Well, I think James Warren is probably the most amusing person. Look at his jacket.
Oh, jacket.
It's slightly colourful, isn't
It
it?
is. Gosh.
Very slightly.
There we are.
I'll tell you what, James. Why don't you come here because
Yeah,
you've got a
yes.
bit of more of a lead vocal on that, and I'll just perch
And if
on the
I swap
side
places
here
with you.
somewhere.
Yes.
Yeah.
And Emmy,
Yeah.
we are.
Yeah, I'll just perch there.
We will be slightly more. Come on, gorgeous one.
That was easy. Okay, so should we do a verse into a chorus?
Let's try.
If I give you a little lead in, if I go.
The other day I saw you walking You looked as pretty as a peach. You look so near, but yet somehow you're out of reach. Everybody sing. I could change the world if I had you. I could change the world if I had you. La la.
Excellent.
Just to show that it's not all mine.
Questions?
Yeah, sure.
Lovely backing harmonies, lovely. Lovely.
I hope you think we're better than Liberian school children.
Oh, I do, of course I do. Well, I better not say that, had I?
No, you can't say
No,
that.
everyone is very good in their own way.
Right.
That's right.
Why don't you go there?
I'll go there.
This is like musical chairs, isn't it?
It's going well.
It's going well. When the music stops, we all change seats.
I have a couple of questions for you, James.
Couple of questions.
Yes.
Here we go.
Ian Walters would like to know.
Yeah.
Is it true that the original version of If I Had You was recorded in the bathroom?
Well, not quite. I did record my vocals in the bathroom of the studio, what we were using at the time, because the studio was in fact someone's apartment in Bath, would you believe? Yes. And just to try and get a nice echo on the voice, David Lord, the guy who produced us, said, why don't you just try going into the bathroom and singing in there? So I did. I'm not sure if that was the eventual take that we used on the record, but I did do a vocal in the bathroom. There we are.
Excellent. Sticking with If I Had You, but from Paul G. I wonder if Rachmaninoff's estate gets any royalties still.
Oh, yes, they do.
I believe they do.
They do.
Every time.
There we go then.
Every time.
Yeah, I think it is now. If you look at the credits on any version of If I Had You, it says Davis Rachmaninoff. Davis/Rachmaninoff.
Okay, I think that's it for the questions
Oh.
at the moment.
Fine.
Yep.
Fine.
Hang on.
Oh, another one perhaps.
No.
Oh, no. No.
Oh, he had us going there for a bit, didn't he? He had us going.
So close.
I got a bit worried after Paul G's question. I was like, uh-oh, this could get legal.
Okay, so James, you weren't there the other day, but the rest of us, we wandered up to Born to Win's new place.
Oh, yes.
It's like South Fork in Dallas. It is. It was. As I was driving up, I'm thinking, this is the sort of place they would say, would you like to partake of some homemade lemonade on the lawn? Oh, never mind on the lawn. Let's go to our bar that we have, which is a separate building, of course, with our own little pizza oven in it.
Yes. Now, it does have a separate bar.
It does.
have a separate bar.
With a pizza oven.
With a pizza oven, that is true.
Very
That is
important.
true. And
We get in priorities, right?
well, it was one of the priorities that Ava wanted.
Yeah.
She thought, well, she would like her own bar.
Yep.
And Dave, obviously the drummer for Born to Win, decided that was a very good idea.
Yeah.
So really, it was them that.
But
sort of
I
forced
do
that
find
idea.
David in there,
Right.
I found him in there.
Pulling another pint.
Pulling a pint.
Pulling a pint.
It's a considerably, worrying thing because his office is not far away from
Just in front of the pub.
In fact, there's a little hatch, isn't there? Do you reckon he could reach through the hatch and just pull himself
Small
a
enough
pint
to
through the
clamber
hatch?
through, yeah, definitely. Yeah.
Is he still around? We could get him to say hello, couldn't we?
Where are you, Dave?
Dave, you still
I'm
there?
sure he's around floating about here,
Floating is what he does best.
We should just get you in to say hello at least.
helping me move furniture, he was.
So, lots of you will know, of course, Dave, from being at the side of the stage, being the one who presses buttons on a computer. So he lets all those films go.
Yes.
And most of the time in the right place. And usually when he's in the wrong place, it's because we've cocked up something. That's what it is. Well, on his notes it says go straight on, and we go no, hang on, we're not ready yet.
We changed that.
We changed it. This time we're talking now.
This is Dave.
Hello.
Dave.
Dave. He's the
Yes.
best.
He is pretty good.
Yeah.
We like
Most
him.
important
Everyone
member of the
needs
band, I like to think.
Yeah.
Everyone
I
needs
think
a
so.
Dave in their life.
Yeah.
Okay, so if you want to know where the beer's gone at Born to Win's place, it's in Dave's belly. That's where it is.
Bobby is me.
That's where it is. Okay. So I just wanted to get you out just to show people that you existed. That you
You're
were.
real.
So
You can go now, Dave.
Backstage. Press buttons.
Go on, off you go. We love you.
We're back on If I Had You again.
Back
All
when
right,
I
okay.
had you.
Okay, hang on. It's from Gary Twitchett. Question for James. How did you and Andy feel about the Rachmaninoff claim of similarity on If I Had You?
Oh, I think we knew that it was authentic, really. Because I'll tell you what it was. When Andy was young, his mother, who was a piano teacher, used to play that little tune, ding, 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 all the time as part of her sort of piano lessons to people that came round to their house to have these lessons. So I think it became imprinted in Andy's mind, and he very, very intelligently thought one day, my God, that's a great tune. We could make a pop song out of that. So I think it was deliberate, but you know, it was a very complimentary little sample, a
tribute
tribute.
to Dimitri.
Yeah.
Can I ask you a question then, James?
You may ask me a question, but only one.
When you write songs,
Yeah.
how do you know that you're not sort of subconsciously
Cribbing it
just
Yeah.
but sort of absorbing it? And what happens in that case if it's not exact but close?
Good question. Well, to tell you the truth, I don't worry if it's close to something. If I think, oh, that reminds me of that other song that I really like. I don't worry about that. It's only if it's absolutely directly a crib of those notes that I would start to think, oh dear, should we sort of say something to someone about this? But it doesn't happen very often.
No.
I think the fact that something is familiar is part of what makes it catchy.
Yeah.
Part of what it either has to be really unusual to make it catchy, or it has to be something
And
that's
to be
familiar.
fair, pop music is all about recycling. I mean, the Beatles, especially in their early days, were always trying to sort of copy a favourite Motown song. You know, a lot of their early stuff was like directly copies of Motown tunes, just rearranged a little bit and giving a Beatles sort of sound, you know. But everyone does it, basically. And why not, you know?
And even George Harrison on My Sweet Lord, where he eventually lost the lawsuit from the Chiffons, He's So Fine. And if you hear that song, it is really, really similar to My Sweet Lord.
Yeah.
But he claims that he actually used a different song altogether as a starting point and unwittingly changed it into He's So Fine.
There we are.
So there. I know a few people that use different songs as a starting point and use a chord sequence and sing a different tune over it. And, you know, essentially you can't really copyright a chord sequence.
Yeah.
So there we are. It's a
Well,
new
if you
song.
think about it, there's only 12 notes, isn't there?
That's right,
So
only
there's
12 notes.
And
Yeah.
so, you know, and millions of songs.
Yeah.
So at some point there's overlap with something, I'm sure.
Yeah. I hope someday someone will find the 13th note.
Yeah.
Because 12 isn't enough, is it?
Well, I think the Indians have found them, haven't they? Got about 47 notes in the
have.
scale.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I have an interesting fact that nobody noticed.
Oh,
And that
interesting
is,
fact.
on this day in 1980,
Yeah.
the famous single was released.
Really?
Yeah.
Everybody's got
really?
to learn
On this day?
sometime.
Yeah, and somebody put it on Facebook.
Anniversary
Thank goodness for
time.
that.
Right, we're having a party.
And
We're having a party.
Dave, pour the pint.
Yeah.
Oh, the pints, Dave.
That's it.
Well, I'd forgotten about that.
so we all.
That's lovely.
It's a fact, I checked it.
Brilliant.
Ah.
Brilliant.
Brilliant.
Well done.
Well, I never.
Good job.
Yeah, he's on it. Fair play.
Not off.
Well, what can we follow that with?
Well, I think we could follow that with a reiteration of
Yeah.
the quiz question.
Yes, we could do that.
Should we
Yes.
get one of these guys to read the quiz question? I'm
Yeah.
going to put it back up on the screen.
Go on,
right
Jay.
there.
No, Emmy. Emmy is the one.
Emmy.
Here's the microphone.
What was the first demo recorded by the Corgis?
There we are. There we are.
What was the first demo recorded by the Corgis?
That's
Who are
right.
the Corgis?
Yeah, who are they?
Sorry, let's just put that up on screen just in case. So
there
you're
we
going to
are.
have a little look at that for a couple of seconds. And the prize that's up for grabs is a demo copy of the new Japanese album. Now, the Japanese album won't be released here probably till something like October. So this really is a scoop. So you got to get thinking caps on for this one.
Yes.
Worth having. Because there's probably a
Yes.
few things that you've never heard here, or a few things you didn't even know existed.
Wow.
So there we
Is it
are.
worth mentioning
One
that
more
the second prize is a naked massage from myself?
Oh!
Should we just put that out there?
Are you offering now?
Yeah, I think
Yeah, it's a second prize.
Dear me.
a lot of people will be interested in that one, I think.
I think so. Dave, you're
Another
not allowed to
question.
enter.
Another question for you, James.
Another question.
From Gary Twitchett yet
Oh,
again.
gosh.
Did any songs you wrote for Stackridge
Yeah.
end up on Corgis records? He thinks the Dirty Postcard sounds very Stackridge.
Oh, doesn't it? Yes. Well, I don't think so is the honest answer, but you're quite correct. Songs like Dirty Postcards were written in that sort of period in between the end of Stackridge and the beginning of the Corgis. And yeah, it's a bit more Stackridge than Corgis, isn't it, really? I found a few of my offerings on that first Corgis album were more like Stackridge songs, to be honest. But I gradually got into the pop thing after that album, I think, yes. So that's my answer.
That's interesting because it's gone a little bit more, it's gone a bit full circle, isn't it? Because when Stackridge got back together again,
Yeah.
some of the Stackridge stuff was a good deal more poppy than it had been. And in fact, there's a few Corgi songs that ended up on there, like the newer version of Boots and Shoes,
Oh,
which is more
yes.
like we do it live now, isn't it? So
Yeah.
we're kind of copying more
I
the
love
Stackridge
that.
Boots and
things.
Shoes rocks.
It's
Yeah.
so much fun to
Rocks.
play. isn't
Live
it?
is
Yeah.
insane.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Live ones.
And on the new album, of course, we were very well aware that there were certain songs that were quite Stackridgian, if that is a term.
Well,
that I
it is
can
now.
use.
It is now. So you've just clarified that.
I've just invented it. I don't think I have. I'm sure someone else has invented Stackridgian before now. So the heritage of Stackridge is kind of always with us, and we're lucky in the fact that originally the Corgis were known just as a pop outfit, and you're kind of a little bit bound by what you're known as. But now we can do anything we like. I reckon.
I think.
Gosh.
I reckon. Going back to where your new gaff, where you live, and I think actually we should play something that you've done.
Okay.
Because not a lot of people have heard it, because you've been working on material and working on material and working on material, and we're just at the point where it's going to be mastered, isn't it?
Yeah,
and so
yeah.
it's going to start to get out there, so you'll start to hear it. So we're going to play you one little piece of music. But going back to where you live, it's not only the bar that's an outhouse, is it? You've got a barn across the other side of the road.
We do.
And you were showing us round there and going, this would be a great place for rehearsals in the summer, etc., etc.
We should.
And also, this couples in with something that Ian Walters emailed about about a week ago, and he said everyone on the Corgis live stream seems to get on so well because they all talk amongst each other, sometimes ignore us completely. They're just having a chit chat about all sorts of different things on there. They are. And he said it would be great to have a Corgis convention. That's it, a Corgis convention where we all get together and we can just talk. We can ignore the Corgis and just talk about what we want. So it would be a great place to do, wouldn't it?
Yes.
You know, it's not too far away from anywhere. It's not like it's in John O'Groats. Or
No.
So maybe we could do that at some point in the summer. We can all meet over a lemonade. Homemade lemonade on the lawn, of course. There won't be any beer left because Dave will have drunk it all.
Yes.
Yes. Probably will. So, should we play your piece of music? Shall we
Let's do that.
Does someone want to say something about it?
Yes, this is Born to Win's very own song.
Well, this one is one that Jay has recently written.
Yeah.
Well, you have to preface it a little bit.
Well, you best
Right, okay, all right, give me 30 seconds. So we had an incident with the police, a helicopter and some drugs. Apart from the drugs.
But the
police and helicopter were
with
there.
us.
They thought that there were drugs
But
involved.
there was no drugs.
Anyway, this upset
Gosh.
Ava in a great...
Very bad way.
Next time you're at a gig, ask us about it and we'll tell you the full story. It is hilarious.
It was not hilarious for me.
And so this song is inspired by that?
Well, this inspired us to get a little dog.
No.
Ava decided that she wanted a baby.
Yes.
I thought, really? And she
And
thought,
I said, no, we'll have the four-footed kind, and I want to whip it, and I want it to be fawn with a blue nose, and I'm going to call her Bluebell. And so
She came along to all the Corgis gigs, didn't
She did.
she?
Yes.
Yes, Bluebell the dog.
And she
yes,
would sit on the
yes.
side and
she
be all
would sing
curled up
along.
singing along.
in
And
some
do it, thanks.
instances.
well, in September,
October.
she passed on because she was ancient.
At the ripe old age of 14.
14, that's right. So this song is a tribute, really, to her.
To Bluebell.
It was the first piece of music that I wrote after, and it's been the only music that we've written since. Nobody's heard it, so this is cool.
This is it.
And it's just a
Enjoy.
demo at this stage, so it's a good, it's a nice little piece.
Okay,
Enjoy.
so I'm going to play this. I'm going to turn the mic off.
Good idea.
And because it's a little bit weird seeing us talking amongst each other when I turn the mic off, I'm just going to stick it on the other screen. And you can see, there we are. So we're playing this on WhatsApp. That's one of our weapons of choice. And here it is.
Another day has gotten away from me. They all seem longer since you went away. So I scream and I pray and I trust the world won't ever see my pain. I couldn't cope with things that way, so I hide inside, and I guess your time here with me was done. You held me close, but you were a jealous one. Then we had our fun, and as I fold you up in memories, I want you to know you left my life a better one. Oh, you taught me what it meant to love my life. Oh, you taught me after darkness there is light. Oh, ooh, I miss you. Oh, ooh, thank you. That book is closed, so let's start another one. The nights are darker, but the sun's a brighter one. We're still not done. So as we head out to the evergreen, we'll show them the love that could have been best they've ever seen. Oh, you taught me what it meant to love my life. Oh, you taught me after darkness there is light. Oh, ooh, I miss you. Oh, ooh, I thank you. Thank you. You taught me what it meant to love my life. You taught me after darkness there is light. I miss you. I love you. Thank you.
And Pop Pickers, that was Born to Win, and thank you.
Very good.
There we are. Very nice. Very nice. So there was a question, wasn't there? And you were thinking,
Question?
Yeah.
Questions?
Couple of
questions.
This is from Pete Davey, who we know.
Oh, Pete Davey, who I was rehearsing with last night.
Pete!
Yes.
And it says, question. James, have you ever guest appeared on any other albums?
What a good question.
Oh, it is.
I'm afraid nothing of note, if that's the sort of implication of the question. I have appeared on a couple of people's albums, but they're all, I'm afraid, obscure people, obscure to the general public, and didn't make it in the big time. So
really
so
true?
disappointingly, I can't say I appeared on Band on the Run.
They
or
were
anything
obviously
like that.
hoping that you appearing on this album would catapult them into stardom.
Yeah.
That's what they were hoping, secretly.
That's what these people were hoping, of course. Yes, yes.
Okay, and one more from Gary Twitchett.
Oh!
Did you consciously write Living on the Rocks in the style of Paul Simon? It's such a beautiful song, should be a standard. Clifford T. Ward could have written it too.
How kind. That's very kind of you to say that. Yes, to be honest, it was a deliberate Paul Simon tribute. Yes, that's right. Living on the Rocks. Yes.
In fact, around that time, there's a couple, isn't there?
Couple like that, yeah.
Money Talks?
would
have probably
a
been
song called Money Talks on a solo album I did. Yeah, that's right. Another Paul Simon tribute. Yes, yes, indeed.
Oh, I haven't either. Oh, we've really missed
And the
out.
original, your original version of The Best Thing You Can Do Is Love Someone was very Paul Simon as well.
It was. You're right. Yes,
that
you're right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So there we are. There was a question that you couldn't answer, which was, if you met Paul McCartney, what would you ask him? And it was like... And I think he answered this. The question that I would have asked him, and this is a really boring question, it's something that people ask songwriters all the time. What do you prefer to write on, guitar or piano? But he answered it in Let It Be, where he said, it actually doesn't matter to me at all. Whether I've got a guitar or piano, just... It's whatever.
He's so good on both.
And he is good. I mean, if you've seen the film Let It Be, which I know, Mr. Warren,
Get
you've
Back,
seen
you
it.
mean.
Get
Get
Back.
Back.
Yes. If you've seen that, just him coming up with things on the piano straight away. And when he did Martha, My Dear, he just did, he was showing someone about it, and it's like, it's really good, wasn't it?
I love that
And
song.
even the Lady Madonna stuff that he plays is
Yeah.
really, good piano playing.
Did you ever see the work that he did with the Foo Fighters in Studio 66?
I did, yes.
Oh, that was wonderful.
Yeah.
So,
Good.
Foo Fighters, Dave Grohl
Yeah.
wanted a compilation album, and they were just writing songs with guest.
They done one with Stevie
musicians.
Nicks too,
They done
didn't
one
they?
with Stevie Nicks, but the Paul McCartney bit was brilliant.
Yeah.
The way that they just he just got into the song and picked it apart, with his unique style. Oh, this was just wonderful, and it shows you what a really good musician can do.
Yeah.
With the song, it was unbelievable.
Yeah. And I think Dave Grohl said to him, if only it was always this easy. And Paul said,
It is.
It is.
Really?
Yeah.
That simple. Press my button, Al. Press my
That was easy.
button. Really not easy.
We were talking earlier about, what would you ask Paul McCartney? And one of the questions was, can you loan me some money? One of the answers was a fair enough answer, isn't it?
He's probably been asked it before.
But he is known to be quite frugal, and he brought his kids up. They go into normal state school and all that, and very, very frugal living. And my brother was doing a video for him. I can't remember what it was, but it wasn't like one of the famous ones or something. But he was doing a video for him, and Paul McCartney said to him, "Do you think we could have this effect?" And Bruce, my brother, said, "It'll cost you an extra 20 grand for that." And he said, "Oh, I don't think we can afford that." And when he walked out, his manager said he earned that much while he was sat here. Which is probably true, isn't it? It's probably true. Okay, so other things on this glorious album of ours are there was a point where James and I didn't see each other. We worked together in the 90s when we were touring with This World's for Everyone album, and then we didn't see each other for ages and ages. And I come across him on some site somewhere, it's probably a sex site or something like that, wasn't it? Yeah.
A tractor site, wasn't it?
Yeah, that's right. And he wasn't having any takers, so I thought, oh, bless him, I'll answer him. And so we got together to do some writing. We had a chat first, and I think I said, do you know, I'm just fed up of writing songs for no reason whatsoever. Maybe, we should perhaps write something for specific purposes. And by strange coincidence, you were doing Innocent Bystander and doing exactly that same thing. And going, I'm writing songs that could be used as a cover for something, could be like a soul club. Oh, look.
You make me sing, you make me dance, you make me feel like I'm a happy man. Yes, I am, because I can, because I'm feeling like a happy man.
There we are. That was Happy Man. I feel like a happy man after hearing that song. I do the best I can.
It sounds like a verse.
Under the enormous pressures of daily life. I was trying to straighten my back and put a brave face on
It's
things.
okay, Dale'll give you a naked
I'll give you a naked massage.
Okay, thank you so much. Thank you so much. We'll be cutting the cameras for that.
Indeed.
I believe there was another question, wasn't it?
Question, yeah, it's a doubler.
Gosh.
Ian Walters says, did James deliberately even, try to sound like George Michael on How Did You Know? Followed up by Gary Twitchett saying, Ian, funny you should ask that. I thought that he sounded like Phil Collins.
Gosh, what an interesting question. How did you know? A very obscure track that I recorded in the 1980s, I think, sometime. And I suppose we might revive it one day, I'm not sure. It's quite good fun, like a style council type thing. That's what I was thinking of, a style council type of song at the time. I dare say I was trying to give it a bit more like of a George Michael sort of thing, actually, to be honest. Yeah, well spotted. It wouldn't have been Phil Collins. I wouldn't have sort of, that's not my sort of area really. But at that time, I liked the way that George Michael sang, definitely. So I think I probably was unconsciously, maybe, trying to sort of, do a bit of that.
Manipulation.
Do a bit of that, yeah. Well spotted.
Ooh, good job.
And he was a great singer, wasn't he, George
fantastic, fantastic.
I mean, it's almost like he could do anything, couldn't he? If you go, do you reckon would George Michael be able to do a Freddie Mercury song? Yes, he would. Would he be able to, that guesting of Don't Let the Sun Go Down on Me with Elton John?
Yeah.
There's only a few people that would.
And that duet with Aretha Franklin.
A duet with Aretha Franklin. Who else duets with Aretha Franklin, eh?
Yeah.
Apart from Annie Lennox didn't she? On the Sisters Are Doing It for Themselves.
That's right. That's true. Yeah.
But there's not many women. In fact, there's not many women who would be brave enough to guest with Aretha Franklin. But I did see a funny one once. I saw an Aretha Franklin show, and she had lots of people guesting on it, and she had Gloria Estefan guesting. Now, Gloria Estefan's quite a nice singer, isn't she? But she's not known for being a soulstress, isn't she? No. And I think there was one of her songs. It might have been called "Into the Light" or something like that. And Gloria Estefan is going, into the light, into the light. And Aretha Franklin's going, can you see the light? Can you see the light? And she looked across at her, and Gloria Estefan's still doing the thing, and she grabbed her and she went, can you see the light? It was a bit like, can you wake up now and start singing, please?
Where's the soul?
Yeah, the classic. It was a classic. If you ever get a chance to rerun that, it must be on YouTube somewhere or something like that, but it's really just that one moment, and it is worth looking at and going, okay, Something to be said, and I think this is good in all works of life. Whatever you're doing, be there. Don't be somewhere else. Don't be thinking about somewhere else. Be there in that moment where you are, and you will do a much better job.
Good advice. Good advice.
More advice. It's another tip from Al Steele on the Corgis live stream. News.
Ooh.
News.
Ooh.
News. Well, obviously, big news is this big new album is happening, and we haven't actually even been through the track list or anything properly yet, have we? We
Next
probably.
week.
Well, we could do it next week, but I think actually. I think actually we're going to have to take a 2-week sabbatical because we have gigs on the next 2 Thursdays.
Yes,
so
we do.
I think unless something unforeseen happens, we will not be here on the next 2 Thursdays. So very, 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 very sorry, but you're just going to have to come to the gigs. You can catch up in
You'll
person.
have to be there.
We'll do a live stream on the gig. Come into the dressing room. We'll do you a live stream there. We'll be dressed in the jackets. We'll be.
It'll all look very familiar.
Very familiar indeed.
You should mention the gigs that.
Well, that's exactly what was on my news. This Saturday, the Pizza Express Holborn in London. That's where we're going to be. So come along. I believe that they do some quite good pizzas there as well.
Yeah.
As well as good.
We're very excited about this.
Yes.
Very excited.
Yes.
Yeah. So we are on at 8 o'clock. It's a straight through hour and a half set, so no pee breaks for us that night.
That'll be difficult.
Dave isn't going to be able to drink his 17
won't.
pints of
No,
beer before he goes on.
He's not able to.
No.
No.
No, that's
He's going
right.
to be very grouchy.
And then a week today, the following Thursday, we are in Dunstable, the Grove Theatre, because we are doing a charity event for Ukraine. So charity event for Ukraine, the Grove Theatre in Dunstable. If you're anywhere near that, grab a ticket. It's for a good cause. It's to help people who've been displaced and all that. And there's a lot of bad shenanigans going on across there that people need a bit of assistance with. So there's that. And then the following week, we are in Blackpool. Blackpool.
Oh, is it after that? Is it? It's the
It is the
Yeah.
following week. It's the following week. And what's that place called? It's called the Platform, isn't it?
No, it's called the Waterloo Music Bar.
It's called the Waterloo Music Bar. Yeah. I think I've announced it several times as a platform. Where's the platform then? Morecambe.
Morecambe.
And it's not there.
It's not there. Don't go there.
Don't go
But,
there.
but if
We
you
won't
did
be
go
there.
there, but if you did go there, it's a short hop to Blackpool, so you would still be able to make the gig. But you might be too late to buy us a drink at the bar, and that would be a tragic.
It would be
Tragic.
tragedy.
Blackpool, and then I think it's I haven't actually got the dates written down here, but it's like a week and a half later we're in Chelmsford, and it's Chelmsford Social Club. I think that's also going to be live streamed, but nothing like being there in person. So if you are in the north of London somewhere, it's a short little hop around to Chelmsford. It's just above Southend there. And looking forward to that one. That should be very nice indeed. Yeah, very nice indeed.
Yeah.
So I'm wondering whether should we give them a little rundown of the track list? We'll give them a little rundown of the track list. So I'm going to. Here it is, right here. Look at this. Okay. So the track list. I'm going to read it to you rather than showing you this big.
This is for the
stuff.
Japanese album,
Yeah.
which is called, once again,
Cool Hits,
with a K,
Curiosities,
with a K,
and Collaborations.
with a K.
It has just occurred to me that the initials of this are KKK, which also started with Ku Klux Klan, but we are not in any way sympathetic to that organisation in the South of America. So yeah, just in case, they asked all those questions to John Lennon, Lucy in the Sky with Diamonds. Was it about LSD?
Well, we're letting you know now.
And we're letting you know
it's
now.
Not.
It's not to ask that question. So the track list is going to be, this possibly could be the order. It's going to be Lines, which we played you early on. If I Had You, which we played you early on. Everybody's Got to Learn Sometime, that we didn't play you earlier on. Don't Look Back, which we did play you early on. It's quite close to being finished now, that. This World's for Everyone, which is getting close. About 3 days ago, it wasn't very close, but it's pretty close now. Yeah. Happy Man, which you just played you. There's a mystery song called Fast and Loose.
Gosh.
Not yet.
Fast and Loose.
Now that is
Not yet. That one.
slightly disconcerting.
So Fast and Loose was a co-write with Gavin Clifton, and Gavin Clifton is a studio regular here, and James and him wrote
Oh, I
that.
know Gavin.
Yeah, so it's co-written with Gavin. So Gavin's a lyricist. Yeah, he's a lyricist. So that was one of the co-writes for that. And we listened to it and thought, this is quite good, This is a good song. And I told him the other day that it was going to be on it, and he went, "Oh, you made my day! It's on! Oh, I'm glad!" He was so happy. He was really happy. So that's going to be there.
Man.
Yeah.
Very good.
Magic Money Tree, the extended edition, where we're using Chris Hopkins' second verse, and very nice it is too. So that turns into about a 7.5 minute song or something like that. It's huge, but it sounds great. It sounds really good. So very excited about that. And we've already done that, so it's more or less ready to go. The Ghost of You, this is the one thing we haven't really worked on yet. It's the way The Ghost of You was originally written was as a dance mix, as a boof, boof,
Wow.
boof. And so we're going to try and actually do that version of it. It's really just when the chorus hits, but it's, if you're at a rave and you get to the chorus bit, it's where everyone jumps up and down like that. Okay, well, that's what's going to happen. When you hear this version of The Ghost of You, I just don't like that sort of music. And then we changed it across to the way it is now, to the 80s thing. And I went, what do you think of this song now? She went, oh, I like it now. And so that was the thing where I
the
thought,
deciding factor.
okay, well that says something in it. Because I think if someone hears something they don't like, it can taint their impression of the whole thing, and we didn't really want to do. We didn't want to put people off, but we did want to push the boundaries a little bit, and we certainly did with Cartoon World. I think we did push the boundaries. So there we are. The Ghost of You, the dance mix is going to be there. It'll still be really good. I think it'll be interesting, but you won't be able to sit in your seat. You'll have to get up and poke your finger in the air. So there we are. Always a Sunny Day. That, of course, is one of our collaborations. A Fast and Loose with Gavin Clifton, of course, is a collaboration. Always a Sunny Day is a collaboration. And, of course, this is the only place that you'll be able to get a physical copy of Always a Sunny Day because it won't. We didn't release it physically on single. I think the only person that has a single version of it is Paul Griffin, because we made him one as a competition prize. We printed it on the CD and everything, made him a little cover, put a little poster in it and everything with the making of Always a Sunny Day in it. Yeah, it was good. So it took ages. Took ages, but that was good. And then the best thing you can do is love someone. There is a version with James only singing all of it, and it feels quite different because when we had all those different vocalists on it, it felt like a kind of global thing. When you hear it with a single vocal, it feels like a personal song instead, so it sheds a different light on it altogether, so it's quite interesting. And I think for that reason it should be included.
Absolutely.
There we go. And then the final thing is we have Bringing Back the Spirit of Love, which is the full-length version, a longer version, and we've also been working on a new outro for it. We've been making some new vocals for the end of that, so we're not going to play you that yet. We might play you that maybe next time we come back here or something like that, because it's not quite, it's kind of still, well, I think the vocals are there, but we probably need to add more to it, I think. So that's it. That is what the album sounds like. So it should be something there for everyone, I think.
Yeah. Good.
I did write some cryptic lines. I'll just give you a little brief thing of some of these. So we wanted the kind of notes to be a little bit odd and a little bit out there, and I kind of hit upon this idea of I wonder if I can get the song titles in the text. So I'll give you a little example of the sort of thing I was doing. After Strackridge we drew lines in the sand. The life of a travelling minstrel on one side versus the Corgis as studio guru on the other. Steve Lindsay, fueled by his love of the more edgy side of post-punk, went on to populate the planets, while Andy Davis, fresh from his Kim Beacon experience, had come armed with If I Had You. Top of the Pops catapulted us forward to Dumb Waiters, and James Warren's fascination with Buddhism spawned the baby that would grow and grow. You know it, as everybody's got to learn sometime. Somewhere around Harmony Block, number 168, Andy became disillusioned with being a studio guru and left James Warren desperately trying to steer the ship, etc., etc. So that is how it goes on. Nonsense, we know, but it's quite interesting reading. You won't learn much from it, but it's quite interesting reading. Having said that, I did learn that from Steve Lindsay, because I actually was a friend of his on Twitter, and I asked him, I said, why did you leave the Corgis then? And he said, because it was just as punk had happened, and I was really into Elvis Costello and the Police and the more edgy side of things, and the Corgis were going into the much more melodic side of things. Yeah. And he said, so I was really into things like Ian Dury and the Blockheads, and in fact, the Blockheads played on his version of Lines. So
you live and learn, don't
and I
you?
didn't know that, but they did.
You really do.
Did. And he was friends. And we had a friend in common as well, because I was staying at a guy called John Ward's place in London, and Lines was on the TV with Steve Lindsay playing it. And John Ward was going, oh, yeah, it's Steve, he's doing this and that. And oh, you see, he's got the girls on there and all of that sort of stuff. He obviously knew them all. And I was talking to Steve Lindsay about it, and it turned out John Ward ended up in his band. So it was all going on.
So
all
James,
going
how
on.
you, with your experience with Buddhism before you wrote
Yeah.
So how far did you go in? What attracted you to it?
Oh, I was into it for many, many years. I used to go to meditation groups, Buddhist meditation groups and such like. I was very into it,
So
very
was it the
into
Beatles influence that sort of got you to sort of take a closer look?
That was coincidental, I think.
Okay.
I just, like many people of my age at that time, started reading about sort of, more interesting philosophies, And it was just coincidental, really.
And did you enjoy it? Was it?
Oh yeah, I was really into it. Yeah.
Do you do any meditation now?
I don't. Probably more fool me. I should have kept it up. Really. Yeah, I think it's a good thing. Very good thing.
But you live your life at quite a regular, calm rate, don't you?
I suppose
As opposed
I
to
do.
me.
I suppose I do.
Anyone needs to
Unlike you.
meditate, it's probably me.
Yeah.
Meditate as opposed to medicate.
Yes.
I should swap one for the other, and I would
Yes.
live a much better life, I'm sure.
Definitely. I've got a random question.
Oh, another question.
Oh, goody good.
Is it about if I had you?
No. Why? No. I wanted to know, who are the girls on the front of the cover of Innocent Bystander?
I don't know their names. Would you believe?
Right.
Yeah, it was the photographer chap
Studied.
that I used to do that album sleeve. It was his idea. He said, we could try this sort of concept, and we could have a couple of girls, and you could be in the middle, and you could be sort of witnessing some horrendous sort of accident or something. You were just the innocent bystander. That was the sort of thing, you see. But I'd never met these girls before. I met them just on that one occasion. I'm sorry to say I don't remember their names.
Well, that's what he says anyway.
But
So
they-
any
but
questions
they were
about
very-
how he knew those girls, he was just an innocent bystander.
Yes!
Yeah.
But they were very nice.
I just wondered whether they had done any backing vocals, but now obviously that's
No,
cleared that up.
they weren't singers. No, they were just models. Yeah, models. Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah.
Cool.
I think we should find out if anyone has won the quiz question.
Yes.
Nigel Boyle, do we have a lucky winner
We
tonight?
had a winner within seconds. of
Gosh! Was it that bloke Paul McCartney?
Funnily enough, no.
Oh,
It was Ingo, yet again, because he's won before us.
Well done.
He has won before.
Well done.
Yes, he has.
Closely followed, I'm making the line, closely followed by Elaine Brokenshaw.
well
Elaine,
done.
you got the massage, okay?
Elaine's got the massage. Okay, there we are. So the question was,
I mean,
Oh, Elaine, you'll have to just put up
I'm
with him.
sorry.
You know what he's like.
I'll bring the Vaseline. It'll be fun.
okay, so the question was, what was the first demo recorded by the Corgis? And as Ingo so rightly pointed out, it was indeed Lines, which was then a hit by Steve Lindsay and the Planets, his band The Planets. But as we now know, the Blockheads actually were the band on that single. And he had a hit with it in 1979, and the same year that you had a hit with If I Had You. So it can't have been too far away from each other. You would have
right.
almost crossed on top of the pops.
yeah.
Yeah.
Gosh.
Yeah. So there we are. That was the first one. And that is why Lines is in the set. That's why Lines is on this album. Is because it was the very first demo, wasn't it?
Yes, that's
First thing that
right.
was recorded.
And shall I tell you something mildly interesting?
I'd like
well,
to
I
know.
will tell you something.
Thank
and it's
you.
this. I haven't seen Steve Lindsay since 1979.
What?
How many years ago is that?
Well,
Oh, too many. 41. 43.
43.
43.
Sorry.
There we are. I haven't seen Steve Lindsay for 43
Good.
years.
Wow.
That's not in my lifetime.
Well, hopefully we will get together at some point, because Steve said he is going to pop along to a gig at some point.
Oh, great.
And Steve is touring again with Deaf School, which was his band before the Planets.
yes.
And so maybe we can pop across and see him as well.
Yeah.
It is in your lifetime. It's not in Emmy's lifetime.
Not Emmy's lifetime for definite. She's only 12.
1979.
79.
So, Ingo, you are the proud winner of the demo album.
Well
there is
done,
only going to
Ingo.
be one
Well done.
in the world, one of these in the whole world, and you're going to have it. We're not going to send it to you straight away, as everyone will know who's a prize winner. We never do anything straight away. They're always going, have you sent that CD yet? Have you sent that final yet? It'll be about a week and a half, just because we want to make sure that there's some lead vocals on most of the tracks, so you get an idea of how the whole album will sound. But it will be a one of a kind, a demo album of it. So I hope you enjoy that. And congratulations, Ingo!
That was easy.
It was.
There we are.
I've got to go now. Any more questions?
Yeah.
No.
No. There we are. Okay, well, I think we are going to wind it up. All I will say is, once again, if you haven't subscribed on YouTube, hit the subscribe button now. It's just underneath the screen. If you haven't signed up to us on the Korgis.com, worth doing, because every now and then we'll send you a little newsletter and telling you about the stuff that we're doing, and we'll never send you junk. We promise. Cross our hearts.
See you Saturday at Holborn Pizza Express.
Yeah, that's right. And we are going to leave you with one of the other tracks that is on the album. And this is our last single, which is just heading down Mike Reed's chart now. We've kind of missed the top slot. We got to number 4. We were there for a couple of weeks. I was hoping we could have got up to number 1, but we're plummeting down now. So here we are. Thank you so much for joining us. Thank you, Mr. Warren. Thank you, Warren. Thank you, Boardware. Thank you, Nigel, for manning the com.
Thank you, Al.
Thank you. Thank you, Dave.
Thanks, Dave.
For leaving us some beer. Or at least we hope he has.
Yeah,
Here we are. We're going to leave you with Always a Sunny Day When You're Living Up Above the Clouds.
Bye.
Look at us both, we were just like brothers in that old photograph. I became a persistent scholar, and you took up fighting the flag. From anti-establishment ethos to a nowhere man without a home, while I flew up to heaven and made my living as the emperor of Rome. And it's always a sunny day when you're living life above the clouds.
How come it's raining on me?
Choose how to spend your day. Turn a smile
When there's nowhere to sleep and there's nothing to lose.
Always a sunny day when you're living high above the clouds.
It won't stop raining on
Take that
me.
rain and turn it into a rain.
Nowhere to go, nothing to show, no colors to build a rainbow. Along the way, our window shadows, the streets are restless tonight. Down here, I'm just chasing the shadows, trying not to lose the fight.